What if I told you the upcoming banners could completely change the way you play Genshin Impact? Yes, that's right. The new 5-star character could be the game changer you've been waiting for. Stick around till the end to know whether you should save your Primogems or go all in. Hey everyone, hope you're all doing well. Hoyoverse has finally revealed the 4-star characters for Kinich's and Raiden Shogun's Phase 2 banners. We'll dive deep into these banners and figure out whether the 4 stars are worth pulling. And of course, we'll discuss the new 5-star character, Kinich, and whether he's worth your hard-earned Primogems. If you're thinking about pulling for Kinich, I've already uploaded a full guide on him. Make sure to check it out because if you pull without knowing what to expect, you might regret it later. This guide will give you a full idea of how Kinich will perform in your team. Make sure to watch the full video. Let's not waste any more time. Starting with the 4 stars, we have Chevreuse, Kujou Sara, and Thoma. While these characters aren't new, there's still some value in pulling for them, depending on your team composition. First, let's talk about Chevreuse, a polearm user designed for overload teams. When you pair her with Electro and Pyro characters, her passive ability reduces the enemy's elemental resistance to Electro and Pyro by 40%, making overload reactions hit even harder. If you consistently trigger overload reactions, you'll get a solid 40% resistance reduction for 6 seconds, which is a huge damage boost. Her second passive gives a 40% attack bonus based on her HP, so you want to aim for around 35k to 40k HP to maximize this. And yes, she can heal, but here's the catch. She only heals the active character, and her healing is pretty average at constellation 0, C0. However, if you get her to C6, that's where the real magic happens. After using her skill in healing, she gives a 60% Pyro and Electro damage bonus for 8 seconds, skyrocketing your damage output. Moving on to Kujou Sara. She's an Electro Bow user. Sara's a bit of a mixed bag. Her attack buff duration is quite short, making it hard to use for certain teams. Plus, her ultimate deals damage, but it has a high energy cost. Even with C6, her critical damage boost only applies to Electro characters, which limits her usability. Now let's talk about Thoma, a character who's all about shields and slow Pyro application. His C6 is particularly valuable, increasing normal, charged, and plunging attack damage by 15% for 6 seconds. His slow Pyro application is great for reactions like Burning and Burgeon, making him a more versatile pick, especially with the introduction of new team compositions. Finally, let's dive into the new 5-star character, Kinich. I've already made a detailed video on him, but here's a quick summary. Kinich is a pretty straightforward character. When you use his skill, he locks onto enemies with his hook and deals area damage. Once her Night Soul points are maxed out, you can unleash a powerful cannon blast, dealing massive AoE damage that could easily hit over 100,000. His playstyle revolves around triggering Burning or Burgeon reactions to quickly build up Night Soul points and unleash that cannon blast. As for Raiden Shogun, here's a quick takeaway. At C0, she's more of a support character rather than a main DPS. However, if you're looking for a strong support unit, Raiden still holds immense value. If you're thinking about running her as a main DPS, make sure to have a strong team like the national team or a solid buffer like Nahida, Kujou Sara, or Kazuha to maximize her damage. Now, let's talk about the weapon banner. Many of you have been asking whether to pull for Raiden's constellation or her weapon. Here's the deal. Raiden's C1 doesn't offer much. It's only from C2 onward that her damage really spikes. So if you're not going for C2, I'd recommend pulling for her weapon instead. That's it for today's breakdown of the banners and the characters. Remember, these characters and weapons can be game changers, but always make sure you're pulling for the ones that will truly benefit your team. Kinich guide link in the description or pinned in comment. Good luck, and I'll see you in the next one.